This conference will now be recorded.
So next Jesse, we will be talking about do while loops. So when we talk about do while loops, so do while loop is a uh, so do while loop. So basically we say do. So do while loop. So it is known as it is known as an exit controlled loop. Okay, so it is known as what? So it is known as an exit controlled loop. So whenever I'm talking about exit control loop, so exit control loop means so exit control loop. So what was while loop basically? So while loop was an entry control loop. So this is an exit control loop. So why it is known as exit control loop? I'll tell you. Okay, exit control loop as the condition the condition is checked at the exit point of the loop. Okay, so at the exit point of the loop. So exit control loop we call it because the condition will be checked at the exit point of the loop, making making at least at least one statement execution. At least one statement execution. Okay, so at least making one statement execution if the condition is even false. If the condition is even false. So what I'm talking about here, I'm talking about a do while loop. So let's go for a table where we will have the syntax, so the flow chart and the example. Okay, so flow chart example. Right. So what we are talking about here? So we are talking about okay. So syntax flowchart are the example. As you know, now we will go for the syntax. So syntax is initialization. So initialization. So after initialization, we will use do. Okay. So we will use do. So do under the do we will have the statements. So we'll have the statements and under that statement so we may have the step or update. So step or update, so then we will have while. So while and here we will have condition. Okay, so in that way you are looking at the syntax. Okay, then how the flow chart will look like? So let's understand the flow chart. So the flow chart would be okay, the flow chart would be so here the loop will be started and the loop will be initialized over here and you will have the statement first. So here in the while you had the condition but here you will have the statement. So you will have the statement So after the statement, so you will look at the step. So you look at the step, and after the step, you will look at the condition. If this condition is true, okay, so we again will go to the statement. Okay, so if this condition is false, we will come out basically. So loop exit. So basically, this is the logic. Okay, so you have a initialization here, so statement goes here, so condition comes here. Okay, so if the condition is true, if the condition is true, again the statement will get executed. So, and once the statement gets executed, again the step will continue, again the condition will be checked. So it goes on like this. Okay, so it goes on like this. Once the condition becomes false, the loop exits. Okay, the loop exits. So as the condition is checked at the end, it is said to be exit controlled loop. Okay, so it is said to be exit control loop. So why it is known as exit control loop? Because the condition will be checked at the end of the loop. Okay, so in that way you are calling it as exit controlled loop. Okay, so exit control loop. Okay. Now we'll have an example. So develop a program. So develop a program for printing 1 to 5. Okay, so we will try and understand the flow first. So develop a program for printing 1 to 5. Okay, so now initialization remains the same. So initialization will remain the same. Okay, so here, so initialization basically is going to be int. So initialization will be int. Okay, so here, okay, so we will write it here. So I'll just take away all these things. Okay, so let me say int. Just a second, just hold on. Yeah, sorry for that. I'll take the. Okay. Right. So the initialization will be same. So int I is equal to 1. Okay, so I is equal to 1. Then I will say do. Okay. So so I'll say do. So here I will write system dot out dot println I value, and here I will say I plus plus. And I would say here while I less than or equal to 5. Okay, I less than or equal to 5. So so basically here, 1 second. Okay. So I is equal to 1. So if I run this, so you are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now you might be thinking that the result is the same. So how the execution will go on. Okay. So let us take this. So let us take this program. So now what I need to do here is, so I need to understand the program, how the flow is going. Okay. So that is very important. So now basically if we are looking at it, so here, so I value will be 1. Okay, so what is I value? So I value is 1. So I value is going to be 1. And then you are going for printing directly. Okay, so you are going for printing. Okay, so you are printing the I value which is 1. Okay, I plus plus. Okay, so I plus plus. So I value will be increased by 1. Okay, so I is equal to I plus 1, so I value will be increased by 1. So when you are saying I value is increased by 1, so it is 1 plus 1. Okay, so 1 plus 1. So what is 1 plus 1 here? So 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So I value is going to be 2. So before checking only, so the I value is increased. Okay, so before checking only, the I value is increased by 1. Okay, so I value is increased by 1. So then it will check 1, I mean 2 less than or equal to 5. So 1 will be never checked. So without checking only, so the output is coming here. Okay, so without checking, the output is coming. So that is why I told you minimum one value will be printed without check. Okay, so one value will be printed without check. So this is what we look at here. Okay, so then again the condition will be checked. 2 less than or equal to 5, it is true. Again it goes back here. Again it prints the value 2. Okay, so again the value 2. Then again it will check. Okay, so again it will check uh, the I plus plus. Okay, so I plus plus means I value will be increased by 1 again. Okay, so I value will be increased by 1. Okay, so means the value here it will be 3. Okay, so the value is 3 here, and then it prints 3. So then again it will check 3 less than or equal to 5. Okay, so 3 less than or equal to 5. So then it goes uh, back again. Okay, so it goes back again. So what it will be doing, so it will be going for, so it will be going for increasing by 4. So then 4 will be checked. So then it will increase by 1. So 5 will be checked. So then once 5 is checked, 5 is less than or equal to 5, that is also true. Again it goes back here. Okay, so 5 will be printed. So 5 will be printed, and then now I plus plus means this becomes 6. So 6 less than or equal to 5. So it will be false. So false means out. Okay. Now, so now while also is doing the same, do while also is doing the same, then where the real change will come into the picture? The real change will come into the picture when the first condition is only false. Okay. So when the first condition is only false. So when the first condition is false means, now for example, if I am saying I is equal to 1, okay, so I less than or equal to, let's say I less than 1. Okay, so I less than 1 if I am saying, so I will get the output as, okay, so I will be getting the output as 1. But in the while, if you write the same thing, so in the while, if you write the same thing, so if you are writing in the while same thing, so you are looking at, so while, okay, so while I less than 1, I is equal to 1. So while I less than 1 means 1 less than 1, it is false. Okay, so false means what will happen? So false means you will be out. Okay, so false means you will be out of the loop. Okay, so you will be out of the loop. So what I'm trying to talk about here, I'm trying to talk about the condition. Okay, so if the condition, the first condition is only false. Okay, so if the first condition is only false, so what will happen over here? So if the first condition is also only false, so then it will be the end of the loop. Okay, so then it will be the end of the loop. But here in the first condition is false also, so minimum one value is printed. Okay, so minimum one value is printed. So in that way you are looking at the things. Okay, so you are looking at the things. So here, when you are going for at least one value also, okay, so one value also. Okay, right. So in this way, you are looking at the do while. So in do while, what will happen? At least one execution will take place if the condition is false also. If the condition is false also, at least one execution will take place. So that's the way you look at the things basically. Okay. So that's how the do while is shaped up generally. Okay. Right. So we'll do some programs using do while. Develop a program for printing the first 10. Okay. So develop a program for printing the first 10 Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series values. Okay, so Fibonacci series values. So generally, what are Fibonacci series values? So Fibonacci series values are nothing but 0, 1, 1. Okay, so 0, 1, 1. So the next value will be 2, next value will be 3, next value will be 5, next value will be 8. Okay, so and next value will be 13, next value will be 21. Okay, so next value will be 34. So what exactly these values are? So like this it goes up actually. So these values are, so first value is fixed 0, fixed 1, and first value is fixed 0, first value, second value is fixed 1, third value is the addition of these values. Okay, and the fourth value is the addition of these values. Okay, and this will be the addition of these values. So this will be the addition of these values. That means what I'm trying to say here is, Fibonacci series means the first value will be 0, second value will be 1, these are fixed, and the third value will be addition of these two. Okay, fourth value will be addition of these two. Okay, So this is addition of these two. Okay, and what about 2? So 2 is the addition of these two. Okay, so 3 is the addition of these two. Okay, next is 5. So 5 is the addition of these two. Next, you will get 8. So 8 is the addition of these two. So next is 13. So 13 is the addition of these two. Then this is 21. So addition of these two. And then addition of these two, 34, like this. So this is the way that it goes. Okay. So first value is always 0. Now we need to pick up the first 10 Fibonacci series. Okay. So how we are going to print the first 10 Fibonacci series. Okay, so first 10 Fibonacci series. So I'm going to get here is, okay, so as I told you, the first number will be always 0. Okay, so first number will be always 0 and the second number will be 1. Okay, so now let's take the first number. Okay, so first number, so I'll say f1. Okay, so f1 is equal to 0. F2 is equal to 1. Okay, so F2 is equal to 1. And we will say F3. So F3 we need to put it like F1 plus F2. Okay, so like this. Now when I am saying F1 is equal to 0, F2 is equal to 1 and F3. So I need to go for a loop. Uh, so here I will say the loop should go for 8 times. Okay, so you need 10 numbers, but this loop should go for 8 times. Why I am saying 8 times? Because already first two numbers are given. Okay, so first two numbers are given means, so you are printing the first two terms. Okay, so first two terms you are printing, and this one also you are printing. F1 and F2 you are printing. Okay, so first two values you are printing automatically. Okay, so if you look at the third value, so third value should be addition. So you cannot say F1, F3, F4, F5 like that, but you need to loop it. Okay. So what I'll do is I will make the loop to start at 3. Okay. So I is equal to 3, and I'll make the loop to go on until 10. Okay, so I'll make the loop to go on until 10. Okay, so I will say I plus plus and so system dot out dot println. So here I will say some I value and I will make the loop to go on until 10. Okay, so until 10. So 3 to 10. So 3 to 10 because the first two values are printed. Okay. Now instead of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so you need to print 1, 2, okay, so 1, 3, okay, so those Fibonacci series. So these are the I values, but we don't want these values. So we want the Fibonacci series values. Okay. So first value should be addition of these two. Okay. So literally I can print F3 is equal to F1 plus F2. Okay. So I can print like this. So now it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So system dot out dot println F3. Okay. So system dot out dot println F3. So I'm printing all these values, but I don't want F3 only to be printed. I want F4, F5 and all, but without actually calculating. So what I'll do, so I will put the values. Okay, so let me make you understand the logic here. So actually 0 is F1, 1 is F2. Now what I did, F3 is equal to F1 plus F2. Okay. So I said this is 0 plus 1, which is going to be 1. So F3 is 1. Now next round what I will do is F1, F2 and F3. So what I will do is I will make F2 as F1, F3 as F2 and again calculate F3. Okay. So I'll again calculate F3 means this will become 1, this will become 1 and I will calculate this. This will become 2. So next round again I will do the same. Okay. So next round what it becomes? It becomes 1. This becomes 2 and this becomes 3. Next round this becomes 2. This becomes 3. This becomes 5. So we are printing these values. Okay. Next round I will say uh, 3, 5, 8. So like this I will be swapping. So what do I do for swapping? So simply I will say F1 is equal to F2. Okay, so simply what you are doing here, so in F1 you are keeping F2 value. In F2 you are keeping F3 value, that's it. So F2 is equal to F, that's it. Okay, now simply run this. Now exactly whatever we want, we got. Okay, so how this is happening? Once again, I will just explain you how this is happening. So here, if you observe, okay. So here, if you look at this, so just now I told you that so F1 will be 0, F2 will be 1 fixed, F3 will be, okay, so I is equal to 3. Okay, so I value is 3. Then I said F3 is equal to F1 plus F2. So F3 is equal to F1 plus F2 means 0 plus 1. Okay, 0 plus 1, this is going to be 1. Okay. Then next you need to print F3 value. So what is F3 value now? F3 value is 1. Already 0 and 1 printed. Already 0 and 1 printed. So you are printing 0 and 1 and the next one which is printed is 1. Okay. Then you said F1 is equal to F2 means F1 you take the F2 value means this becomes 1. Then we said F2 is equal to F3. Okay, F2 is equal to F3 means what is F3 here? F3 is nothing but F3 is nothing but 1. So this will also take the value 1. Okay, right. So then you said I plus plus. I plus plus means this will become 4. So 4 less than or equal to 10. Correct. Correct means again it goes here. So then again F3 is equal to F1 plus F2. So F3 is equal to F1 plus F2. So F1 plus F2 in the sense. So this will be made as 1. So this will be made as. So this value will go here and this value will come here. So this will be 1. And next you are saying, okay, so next you are saying F3. Okay, so okay, actually we did that right. So, okay, 1 plus 1 is this value will be 2. Okay, so then this will become 2 and this will become 3. Okay, in the next round. So in the next round. So when you said 5, okay, so when you said 5, so again this value will be 2, so this value will be 3 and this value will be 5. So when you go for 6, so this value will be 3, this value will be 5, so this value will be 8. When you say 7, so this value will be 5, this value will be 8, this value will be 13. Okay, so when you go for 8, so when you go for 8, so this value will be 8 and this value will be 13. So this like this the rounds goes on. Okay, so this is 21. So when you go to 9, so 9 means so this will be 13, this will be 21 and this will be 34. Okay, so like this it goes on. Okay, of course it is 10. Okay, so in this way you are going to look at the things. Okay, so that's how you are looking at a do while logic. Okay, so do while logic. So uh, so I have to go actually. So what I will do is I will give you a small task. So convert all the programs. Okay, so convert all the programs of while into do while. Okay, so you can do this and tomorrow we'll discuss some more programs on do while. Okay, we'll discuss some more programs on do while. So meanwhile you can do this. Okay, so I have some urgent work. Okay, so these things, I want all the while programs into do while. Okay, so I want you to have it. Okay, so right. So hope everyone understood do while and the Fibo series program.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we'll meet tomorrow with some more programs on do while. So meanwhile, you finish the tasks and everything. So the Armstrong problem also we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.